Hello everybody, thank you for joining me again today. I am Lee from thecraftyspark.co.uk and today we're going to make another box. But this one, she says, rummaging around her desk trying to find the other one, which I can't find at the moment. Oh, there it is. There they are. I made these the other day. I had this ribbon around it, which you may remember, this nice big chunky ribbon, and when I made them the other day I had a really good response on them, and one of my lovely customers whose daughter's getting married very soon sent me a message and asked me if I could make a bigger one. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to make a bigger one. Now these ones were made using the craft card, which comes in a sheet of 12 by 12. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do two videos today. They're not all going to be on the same video, they'll be separate ones. But what I want to do is I want to show you how to make one of them using the 12 by 12 craft, but I'm also going to show you how to make a big one using A4 size paper, cardstock rather, as well. All right, so if you only have A4 size, or you're in America and you're 11 by 8.5, or Canada or anywhere like that, you'll be able to make one as well. Now, if you can hear some funny snorting noises, that's not me. That's my dog. Hello, Molly. She's just had a breakfast and she's come to say thank you. Haven't you? Say thank you, Molly. There you go. She says thank you. Right. Stop banging your tail. I'm going to have to stop talking to her because every time I talk to her she gets really excited. Right. Where was I? Yes, let's do this. Now I'm... Go away. Would you like to see Molly? Let's say hello to Molly. Hang on, let me see if I can move the camera so you can see her. Where is she? There she is. Look. Molly. There you go. There's Molly. Now I've got to try and get it back in place without actually messing it all up. There we go. Right, enough about that. Let's move on. Okay, so moving those two out the way, bringing in your Simply scoreboard. This box is going to be quite a big one because it needs to be big enough to hold a wine glass. So it's going to be very good for those that want to give bigger things, you know, like wine glasses, for example. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with a sheet of 12 by 12 craft card and my scoring tool. There we go. Now, first thing you want to do, obviously it's 12 by 12, so it doesn't matter which way you have it round, but what we're going to be doing is we are going to do our first score at 3 7/8. Okay, the next one, where's that going to go? Is it going to go there? I do believe 7 1/4. Yep, the next one is 7 3/4. And the next one is 11 5/8. All right, so we have got 3 7/8, 7 3/4, 11 5/8. Okay, turn it around, and I need to get my brain thinking again. Right, we're going to do the first score at half, right the way down to the bottom, and the next one is going to be at 9 1/2. Okay, so half, 9 1/2. Right, move that to one side just for a sec, because I've also then got another piece, because as you probably realise, boxes have 4 sides and we only did 3 sections. So we have another piece, 12 inches long as before, same as the other one, but this one measures 4 1/4 wide. Okay, and we're going to score this one at 3 7/8. All right, very simple. Turn it around Now, what way do I need to turn this? Hang on, I've got to make sure I'm around the right way here, haven't I? Yeah. So if you turn it, yeah, that's it. So turn it, oops, move that out of the way, so that your 1/2 inch mark that you've just scored, that line there, is towards you. All right. Line it back up, and then you want to do another score at 1/2 inch again, and then 9.5. Okay, so 1/2, 9.5. Have your score line towards you. All right, so you're round this way. Yeah, cool. Right, let's move that out of the way for a minute, because we're going to put it together now. First things first, I need to sit my bottom back on my jar, because I was standing up because I couldn't see what I was doing. Okay, let's do some folding and burnishing. You have to use a bone folder when you do that. Useful if you know where your bone folder is. There we go. Fortunately, I didn't lose it too badly. Oh, lovely. I'm very unorganised today because I had a message yesterday that I picked up probably a bit later than I should have done, actually. So I do apologise to Kathy, but I picked it up a bit late, which meant I didn't really have time to get myself prepared properly this morning to actually do this video for everybody, because obviously it's not just for Kathy, it's for everybody, but at Kathy's request. But what I wanted to do, what I try and do rather, is I try and get things a little bit prepared before I start, which generally includes tidying my desk, because I'm an absolute nightmare for losing things. However, I didn't get time to tidy my desk this morning, and I'm getting things ready for a class of 10 ladies, so it kind of got a little bit screwed up and a bit of a mess. Never mind, my desk looks like a tip. The dog's only just been fed, and she should have been fed hours ago. So it's all gone a bit manic. But never mind, because that just makes it even more fun, doesn't it? I think so. Right, what should we use for this? I'm going to use some strong tape for this, because it's quite a big box. I would ordinarily use glue. However, really stupidly, I've run out. Can you believe it? I use glue all the time, and you'd think I have a stock of it, but I've run out, which is really irritating, because I love using glue. And when you're making boxes, glue really is the best thing to be going for. Right, what do I want now? Scissors. There we go. Let's get some scissors. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, first of all, at the top, now we've folded and burnished all of that. Actually, let's stick some tape on first. That'd be a good idea. Right, on this very narrow edge here, I'm going to put some of this tape. Now, if you have got glue, as I said, use your glue. You don't need to go right the way down the edge on this one, by the way, just sort of past that edge bit. Yeah, use your glue if you can. If you haven't got glue, make sure whatever tape you're using is a nice strong tape, because especially when you're doing bigger boxes, it's not so bad if you're doing smaller boxes, or if you're just doing like little treat packs, you know, for sweeties or something like that. But when you're doing bigger stuff, you need to make sure that you're accommodating the weight of the card that you're going to be using with the adhesive that you're using. All right, so make sure you use something nice and strong. The bigger the box, the stronger it is. You know, like when you get those packages through from like delivery companies, and they use really mega, actually, do you know what, I'm going to put some tape on there. They use really mega super strong glue. Well, make sure you're doing that as well. Now right, so that goes on that side. Now I've turned it over because I'm going to put some tape on the inside one here, so I'm just going to run a bit along there. Now, obviously, you could do this once you've done all your cutting, but it just makes it a bit easier when you're taping to actually do it before you cut, especially when you're looking at these narrow edges. All right, so that one, let's put a little bit there. And then, right, so this is why I really need glue, because with glue you just like scrizzle it on, don't you? You don't even have to think about it too hard. Do you know what? I'm not sure where it's got to go at the moment. So, but it's going to be covered up anyway, this base bit. Where's the bottom gone? There it is. It's going to be covered up anyway because of the way this box is going to be done. Because obviously if it's going to hold a glass, it needs to be strong enough not to collapse. So I'm actually going to do it a bit differently to the way I do it anyway. Can you imagine it, if you've bought a lovely glass and then it suddenly just crashes on you? Oh my goodness, I'd be devastated, wouldn't you? It'd be a nightmare. Do you know what? I think I've put the tape on the wrong side. Oh, I'll leave it like that. It'll be all right for the minute. It's just so that I know where I'm holding. Right, cutting. Let's cut. Let's do cutting. Much more fun. Right, first off then, snip off that top corner. So that's where you've got the score line and the score line, the two narrow ones meeting. Snip that off. Get rid of that. Don't want that. At the bottom, do a notch onto that flap. Turn it around. And then just cut at an angle up to meet that notch. Okay, like that. Fold it in half, or sorry, not in half. Fold it along your line. Let's get some bigger scissors out, shall we? Be quicker. Fold it along your line, and then we're just going to notch that one out. Whoops. Fold along the next one, do the same again, just notch that one out, lay it flat, notch that edge there. Right, move on to your other piece. We're going to do the bottom of this one as well, so again just notch in at the bottom and then just notch those edges out there. All right, so you are left so far with that going in there, that going in there, and that looking like that. All right, that's what you should be looking at the moment. Okay, now get your scissors again, fold it again, and this time we're going to go at the top. All right, so we're going to do a snip there, fold again, snip there, open up, snip there. All right, now because we put the tape on first, it's now all lovely and neat on the back, so when you actually stick it down you're not going to get any loose corners anywhere. See, there was a method to the madness. Just didn't know what it was at the time. Right, let's do the same on this one. So we're just going to cut the notch off there because we want this to be flat. And we're going to put a notch on there as well, like that. Okay, so that is what we're looking at. All right, now we're going to put it together. So I like to work upside down, as always. All right, let's get this double-sided backing off. Oh, I hate doing this bit. This is why I like to use glue, you see. I just find it so much easier. But needs must. This is what happens when you don't look at what you've got properly. Never mind, eh? Right, so we need to stick these two pieces together. Now, obviously, you want to make sure you are nicely lined up. Another reason for using glue. You get a bit of wiggle room. Mind you saying that, somebody left a message the other day which said if you put glue stick over your double-sided tape, it gives you that wiggle room because the glue stick acts as like a wiggly bit. A wiggly bit. That's not the technical word, is it? Can't remember what the technical word is. But anyway, it gives you that bit of wiggly room because it makes it slimy. That's it. Glue stick makes it slimy. Oh, come off, I can't get it off. But I did try it and I just got in a huge mess. I ended up with glue all coming out the edges, and as I was sort of sliding it together, it was making marks on the side. So I think I need to practice that technique, because I'm sure it works. Otherwise, this lovely lady wouldn't have suggested it to me. But it was just one of those, oh my goodness, I can't do this. And I just got myself in a right old mess with it, so I didn't bother in the end. Right, there we go. So stuck all that down nicely, so that's all nice and firm. So that has now given us our box, you see. Now before I go any further, I'm going to put the panels on. Now I'm going to use this paper today because I haven't used this one for a long time, and I'm also going to get my post-it note with the measurements written down so I give it to you in the right places. Okay, now then, smooth those out of the way. So what I've got here is the birthday bouquet paper. Is it called birthday bouquet or birthday blooms? I can't remember. Hang on, I'll tell you. Yeah, it's birthday bouquet, which is the one that I used actually when I did these ones as well. So there's lots of different designs, but they all match. It's very, very pretty paper. Love it. But this is the one I'm going to use. So if I can find some snail. There we are. What I've done is I've got a panel of Blushing Bride, and this measures 3 5/8 by 8 3/4. And then I've got the actual paper itself, which measures 3 3/8 by 8 1/2. Okay, now if you are in one of the countries that doesn't do inches, on my website there is a really handy conversion calculator gadget thing down the side that I found. Actually, I didn't find it. Catherine Carroll, a colleague of mine, found it. And you can just put in the measurement in inches and it will convert it for you. Or, because we always have our phones handy, there is quite a few different apps where you can just go on there and it will tell you on there what the conversion is. Just download an app instead. Apps for everything now, isn't there? They're all over the place. Right, I'm going to use Fast Fuse. Now, this is a bit of a newbie for me. Fast Fuse has been around for a long time, and I used to get in such a state with it. But I persevered, because I don't like to give up. And you know what? I really like it now. It's really, really strong. And yes, I could have used it when I was sticking the box together, but the only reason I didn't was because where it's on this roller, it's a bit hard to make sure you've got it in the right place. So, whoops. I thought if I just, way, went completely off there. I think I got more on the table than I did on the card then. Oh my word, that made a mess. Oh dear, look. Oh, for goodness sake, I told you it was sticky, can't get it off. Oh no, it's stuck to my hand. Oh, good grief. What was I saying? I don't know. Oh, I was telling you about the lovely Fast Fuse. Yeah, it's really, really strong stuff. So if you're doing boxes and you've got the room and the knack, which as you can see I'm not quite there yet, because I tend to get it all over the place at the moment. You know, I watch some demonstrators using this stuff and they're amazing with it, you know, they just whip it out and it's like, and they're done. It's like the Flash on the telly, you know. I do it and it's kind of like a bit of a children's nursery guy. Oh dear. No, I get splodges on it and all sorts. Never mind. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at me. Dog's back. Did you come to see me again? Right, okay, let's put these panels on. Now, I use Fast Fuse on these only because they're so big. Because, you know, I said to you just now, if you're using heavier cardstock, making bigger boxes, you need to make sure your adhesive is going to be strong enough. All right. The more adhesive you're using when you're actually sticking things together, the stronger it makes it as well. So bear that in mind too, because that can be quite handy. And there's another reason why I like using glue, because the fibres in the glue just bonds with the fibres in the card, and it just helps to keep everything really super strong for you. Right, there we go. last one. It's great, this paper. You don't even need to worry about getting it up the right way, because it's one of those sort of multi-directional ones. It's fantastic. There we are. All right, so that's all our panels on. Now, what I should have done is actually pulled those bits of tape off before I actually stuck it together, but never mind. I'm going to have a fight and try and do it now. So bear with me a sec. Right, sorry about that. I thought I'd fast forward that bit for you, because otherwise you'd be sitting there watching me fight with the box and trying to get my hands sorted out as well. So, never mind. Right, okay. So what I've done is I've pulled all those edges off, pulled all the double-sided tape bits off, just folded them in and just stuck them down so that it gives that really nice professional edge. All right, so rather than just bare cardstock, you've got that nice sort of folded rolled edge over. All right, just makes it look a lot neater. Now the bottom, this is where I may have stuck the double-sided tape in the wrong place, but never mind, because what we're going to do, the base of this box, you're actually going to be able to see the folds in the tabs, which is going to look a little bit untidy. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cover the base up, just to give it a nice neat finish. And also, because this particular box that I've made here is for glass, I want to make sure the base is really strong. Because could you imagine giving somebody a really beautiful glass and the base of the box just falls out? Oh my goodness, you'd be devastated, wouldn't you? So what I'm going to do, if I turn it up that way so you can see it, so we're going to fold over the edge that's got the 2 strips of tape on. They probably would have all ended up with 2 strips if I'd actually thought about it properly, but never mind. Now you need to make sure, obviously, you square it off. So if you fold them all in roughly at the same time, it will help you to make sure you've got that nice square box. Now, as you can see, I haven't really put my tape in the right places, but like I said, it's okay, it doesn't matter, because I am, where did I put that square? I can't, oh, there it is. I've cut another square of craft card. Now this measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, because our actual box itself is measuring 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Now you might think that's quite a large glass, but if you've got a big glass, obviously you can put it straight in. If you've got a smaller glass, wrap it in tissue paper, because that will pad it out and make it look even better, probably. Right, there we go. So I've put some of the fast views on the bottom. I'm going to hold that down, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it up over on that side. And it's got a very, very slim edge around the bottom, which is exactly what I was hoping for. There we go. You see, and that gives it a much neater finish, doing it like that. Pop your hand inside and just stick it down properly, because you can obviously push from the inside, can't you? You can't really push from the outside, otherwise you collapse your box. So push it down inside, and you have got a really nice firm bottom box. Now if you wanted to make it even more sturdy, if you had, say for example, a heavy ceramic vase or something like that, there's no reason why you can't put another square of cardstock on the inside at the bottom, because that will obviously add to the strength as well and help to make it much stronger for you. All right, but that's our box. Now let's do the lid. For the lid, you need your Simply Scribbled again, and a piece of craft cardstock again, this time measuring 8 inches by 8 inches. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to score it at 1/2 inch and then where? Hang on, 1/2 inch. Oh, and 2 inches. Is that right? 2. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Hang on. Let me get my template out. This is what I was playing with last night. Oh yeah, I was right. So 1/2 inch. Whoops. 2 inches. 6 inches. 7.5 inches. All right, turn it around, exactly the same again. So 1/2 inch, 2 inches, 6 inches, 7.5. Okay, move that out of the way, don't need that. Fold and burnish all those lines that you've just done. And your little mini ones as well. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did before, in that we're going to have these edges nice and rolled over. All right, so I'm going to have another fight with my tape, like you do. Trying to get the backing off the tape, so I'll stick it on. I'll show you where it's going to stick, and then we can fast forward it again like I did just now. So on the inside, all right, so we're going on this side. Grab your tape, try and find the end, get it around the right way. There we go. And we're just going to pop it. We're going to have a bit going there. Going to have another bit going there, and another one there, and another one there. Ta-da! There we go. So stick all that down, nice and sticky down. There we go, like that. Excellent. And now we're going to cut. So scissors in hand. We're going to do, let's do it easy, shall we? We're going to go straight down that one, turn it, straight down that one and turn it, straight down that one and turn it, and straight down that one, like that. Okay. Then we're going to go to this narrow edge, and we're going to go straight down and straight down and straight down and straight down. All right, like that. Okay, and then we're going to just notch off those edges there on that tab that's now poking out. So all the way around. Now the actual lid for this one, because it's a bigger box, obviously it's got a bigger lid, but the lip of the lid is also bigger, because when you're doing a bigger box, you need to be having a bigger lip to keep it all within the right measurements. Measurements? No, that's not right, is it? Within the... to make it look good. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, the aesthetics of it. That's the word. Right. Cut that little tab bit off there, because we don't need that. I'll get rid of that all the way around, like that. Just like that. All the way around there, like that. Right, let's get some big scissors in now, because what we're going to do is we're just going to put some notches onto those big tabs. Now, if you're handy dandy with your scissors and you're confident, obviously you can do these notches as you're cutting. But if you're a little bit nervous and you're a bit worried that you might be cutting in the wrong places, if you cut your straight edges first, like I just showed you, then notch it, your brain can actually cope with it much easier and you don't get yourself in such a muddle. All right, so take those bits off. Don't want those there, do we? Right, there we go. Okay, so this is what you are now left with. This is your shape. Turn it up that way. There you go. Okay, so just as before, we've got the long bit with the tab on the end, and then we're going that way with the tab on the end, then this way with your tab on the end, then that way with your tab on the end. Okay, and just as before, we're going to put a nice ribbon on it. So on the inside of your box, you now have a box that measures, or a lid rather, that measures 2 inches by 2 inch. 2 inches by 2 inches. That's the biggest 2 inches I've ever seen. It measures 4 inches by 4 inches. So make a mark straight down the middle. Mark it off at 2 inches because you want to go the centre of that square. All right. So I've drawn a line in pencil. I'm going to fold over my little tab at the bottom, and I'm using my trio corner punch. Whoops. Trio, yeah, I think that's what it's called. And you'll see on here, you see it's got that line. That's your centre line mark. This one here, this line, that's your ribbon mark, your ribbon punch. All right, so if you just slide it in there and line up the line you've drawn with the line on your punch. Hang on, I've got to put it down before I do it. Make sure I'm around the right way. And then punch. Oh, goodness, that was a hard one. You will be dead in the centre. All right. Do this one. So I'm doing it on both sides, opposite each other. Move that out of the way again. And before you start sticking things together, rub that pencil line out, because if you try and rub out a pencil line in the centre of your lid once you've stuck it, trust me, you'll get in a mess. And yes, I have done it before, just in case anyone's sitting at home thinking, oh, I bet she's done that. Yeah, I've done that. And yes, it was flipping annoying. Right, let's fold these edges in. Remember to do it around the right way this time. So fold my little flaps in before I do the big ones. Fold them all over. You see, it's much quicker and easier to do it when you haven't already built your box and then try and put your flappy bits on. Just going to use my bone folder, stick those down nicely. All the way around. That's it. Right, now we need to stick our lid together. So, let me just get a bit of wider tape for this, just to make sure. I could use, if you're like I said before, if you're handy with your fast fuse is good for boxes actually. But as I'm still not quite tickety-boo with using it, I'm going to have to go with using double-sided tape, I'm afraid. Don't really like using double-sided tape on boxes, but this one is a really strong one, so I'm not as bothered as I usually am. Yeah, I know, I'm a bit of a fusspot. Can you tell? Oh, lovely, lovely. Right, there you go. I'll tell you what I am going to do though, because I just want to make sure that these tabs stay down. So as that bit isn't so important to get it in the right place for my tape, I'm going to stick it like that. That's it. You see, if I was using glue, I'd cover that whole tab with glue, and then when you fold it in and stick it, it helps to give you that super strong strength on your box. But because I haven't got any, boo-hoo, I'm gonna just do it like this instead. There we are. Right, so fold it round, line it up, just stick it down, fold it round, line it up, and stick it down. Fold it around, line it up, and stick it down, and whoop, fold it around, line it up, and stick it down. Right, I'm going to use my bone folder just to stick inside there and just make sure it's all nice and firmly stuck. All the way around, like that. There we go. And then, where's that bit of ribbon gone that I had? There it is. I've got a nice long piece of ribbon, and I'm going to thread it from the inside of the lid, like that. Oh, I've got the ribbon upside down. Let's go shiny side out, shall we? Like it's supposed to be. So that's going through there like that. And then the other end. See, this adds to the strength of the box as well, because it helps to hold it all together. It's going to go around that way, like that. Alright, so our lid can now go onto the box. Pop your ribbon around the bottom. I'll stand the box up, actually, it'll be easier for me to do it. Hold the ends of your ribbon and just pull it. Oops, I'm going to go out the camera a minute. Oh, and I've hit the camera. Sorry. Oh dear. Right, there we go. Alright, so that has now gone round, and then you can sort of sort out your gathers so that they're nicely gathered on that edge there. Same on your other side. Now this ribbon, this is the lovely wide Watermelon Wonder ribbon, which we have in the catalogue at the moment, but I will put the link for everything that I've used on the blog post that's going to go with this video, and you'll see the link to the blog post just underneath the blog, underneath the video rather, sorry, in all the writing underneath. All right, so folded that round. All I'm going to do now is just tie a little bow. Oh, I hate doing bows on camera. And I know I'm not the only one that hates doing bows, because oh, here we go, look, it's started already, can't get it done. Hang on, let me, it would help if I had a bit longer ribbon, but I've run out of this ribbon, so I've actually taken this off the other project, which is why it's not quite as big a bow, because on the smaller boxes it had a really big bow on the top, but this one's going to have a slightly smaller bow. There we go, that's it. But it still looks just as cute, doesn't it? Look. Alright, what do you think? Kathy, I hope you like that. A nice big chunky box, perfect sized for your beautiful wine glasses that you're going to be using. Alright, so we now have a box that measures 9 inches by 3 7/8. Perfect size. Alright, anything you need, anything that I've used, anything you want to ask me, just drop me a line. All the products that I've used to make this lovely box, as I've already said, they're going to be in the links on the blog post that will go with this. So just nip on over to my blog, have a look, and you'll be able to see some more pictures of this box as well, because obviously it's not so easy to get on camera being quite a big box. But I'll put some pictures on the blog for you, and then you can have a look. And if you would like to make one yourself and you need all your bits and pieces for it, obviously just click the link. You'll be able to go straight through to my shop and buy everything you need. Alright, hope you enjoyed that, but until next time, I will see you again very soon. Take care now. Bye!